Hello, and we are back here on the second day of the Adopting Bitcoin conference in El Salvador. And by my side is Patrick from the Lago Bitcoin Lake project. Hi, Patrick. How is it going?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
No, thank you for your time. So yesterday we saw your talk on the project Lago Bitcoin. I must say that I'm speechless. It's the first time I'm visiting El Salvador, and I think that soon it's going to be also the first time that I visit Guatemala. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the project? Like, where does the idea of Lago Bitcoin come from? Why Panajachel in Guatemala?
Well, I mean, the idea comes from just coming down here over many years in the same area in Panajachel, working with my family at the same school that we're now working with. So I have a long history of working in the community, and when I came across Bitcoin, went down the rabbit hole, I thought this would be a great tool for the community to help transform it more than what we were able to do before with different types of tools. So as I said in my presentation yesterday, Bitcoin is a tool, and you can't just put a tool out there expecting people to know how to use it. If you've got an engine and you've got a wrench, you've got to have a mechanic that understands how to use that tool. And I'm the Bitcoin mechanic, and Bitcoin's the tool, so we're applying it to the situation in Panajachel.
Yeah, it's a great approach because it's not only about having, as you said, like a hammer, but knowing how to nail it.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And just coming from a Western developed country, coming down to Panajachel in a developing country, just seeing what can be done or what you want to help with. I think most people, when they encounter situations like that, have a desire to help. And so, I mean, I think most of the Bitcoin projects that are current are born out of a desire to help the community that they're in. Yeah.
Definitely, it's about this helping and also knowing that there are different ways of living. I think that, again, if you are someone that has not visited yet Guatemala, in my case I have never visited El Salvador, well, I'm from Mexico, but it's it might be similar in some aspects, but in the end it's a different way of living, a different environment, and it really fills you with different and new experiences that I totally recommend.
Well, I think the one thing that I always like to comment on and always like to share is that someone from the West coming here, seeing what the Europeans, the Spaniards did 400 to 500 years ago, taking all the gold from the land and taking it back to Europe with a major transformation of wealth. We think of Bitcoin as digital gold, and it's my desire that digital gold stays here in Latin America this time. So we're really heavily focused on introducing Bitcoin mining into our community project as well.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very important point that if you have access to the recording, there are amazing slides explaining how they are like really touching different aspects, different pillars, not only on the education side, but as Patrick just said, like also bringing mining and getting Bitcoin from the resources available there. And talking about the presentation, yesterday you mentioned the figure of 200 businesses already onboarded in Panajachel. Would you be able to tell us what share does this represent of the total businesses in the area, and what would be the goal in, let's say, a year? Go 10x from there? Or?
Well, it's actually 200 businesses in Guatemala. It's pushing about 100 businesses around the lake. I think that the goal is not to 10x or 100x Lightning adoption in businesses. That's not our job, because there are Lightning businesses that are for profit. That's their job. That's where they're going to make their money. I think for us, our goal, and from the beginning, was to have enough businesses around the area where a Bitcoiner could come and basically live off of Bitcoin, and we've achieved that. So are we going to continue to push Lightning adoption? Absolutely, but our goal is to attract Bitcoin tourists, and there are going to be plenty of other companies that come along and have the goal of onboarding businesses for profit for adopting the Lightning Network. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, thank you for making this clear. And when talking about attracting people to visit as a tourist or even as a digital nomad, this is something that also was mentioned yesterday in your presentation. Attracting digital nomads as one of your goals. Given this situation, are you, for instance, collaborating with the Guatemala office to facilitate visa programs or anything needed for the immigration?
No, we haven't. That's an excellent question. And I think from most Western countries, you're not going to need a visa. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think you need it. But I do know politically we have the support of the mayor, the local mayor, and if it gets to the point that we need to pursue something like that, absolutely we would pursue that for sure. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And yeah, with this, I think it's only a matter of inviting people to get to know the project. Where can they find you?
On Twitter is the best way, and our name is Lago Bitcoin. Lago, Spanish for lake. So on Twitter, it's Lake Bitcoin, at Lake Bitcoin, and that's the best way. And connect with me on Twitter, DM me. My DMs are open. Happy to connect with anybody who's interested. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Patrick.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the conference and see you soon in Guatemala.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.